What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Live Wealthy Stocks, back with our daily Palantir update video where we take a look at how Palantir stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Palantir stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Palantir are. And I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record. We will get right into it. So taking a look at kind of how we traded, right? We were in the low 26s yesterday, and we talked about the pattern that we saw kind of taking place right now and what that could mean for trading. And today we were kind of pretty spot on. One of you guys, I think asked me yesterday what I think we're going to do. And I said, hey, we either are going to end near the 26s or we drop to the 25.30. So we dropped to the 25.30s and bounced off of this support level perfectly. Now, I don't always know what's going to happen. Just want to kind of throw that out there. I was just anticipating that to happen because we've kind of seen that happening. And kind of with the pattern that we see developing, that's what I, think could happen for the pattern to be valid, right? So this is all basing on the pattern to be valid. So let's take a look at how it traded today. We'll take a look at future levels of support and resistance, and then I'll kind of reiterate that pattern that I see developing. But real quick, wanted to really quickly cover, right? The data governance market value could exceed $5 billion by 2025. I know that's 4 years out from now, but if you're someone invested in Palantir for that long-term growth, this is great news for us because it means that companies like Snowflake, like Palantir, and other companies kind of taking part in this could really start to push up as we see this this demand kind of pop up. And the other thing I want to cover is Kramer, who, if you guys know Kramer, right, pretty well respected name in the financial industry, talks about how Palantir is a long-term play, right? And that's something that I want to kind of reiterate to you guys because that's my opinion of Palantir as well. I hold a LEAP, which is a really long-term option. I know a lot of you guys do calls and puts. Think of this as a very, very long call because that's essentially what it is. But you're buying yourself a whole lot of time for you to kind of be right. And, as a result, paying a little bit more for that option. So that's what my opinion on Palantir is too. I do think we see a breakout here soon. But, I think the real money is in that long-term hold. So we'll see. We'll take a look at how that goes. So right out of the gate, actually, let's get right into the analysis. Right out of the gate, we saw this push down to 25.30s where we got a bounce to VWAP. Pushed up from VWAP, came down, bounced off VWAP, pretty sideways, went up, came down at VWAP, close. So not a really exciting day for Palantir, right? But that's kind of what we expected. If we take a look at kind of what we have developing here, which is this wedge pattern. You guys know I love these wedge patterns, especially when they work out. If you guys saw my Amazon videos from I think about a month or so ago, right? We caught that one really kind of on the dot. So hopefully we can catch this one too. But essentially what that means is we are trading in a closer and closer range until we get to a point where the stock has nowhere to go, right? So it'll go up, it'll bounce, it'll go down, it'll bounce. And then at the end of that wedge, right, it won't be able to really go anywhere. And hopefully we see a breakout. Doesn't have to be to the upside, right? I always want to remind you guys of that, but hopefully we see it to the upside. So if we take a look at this candle here, right, pretty perfectly with that theory, right, we were kind of getting pretty close to the top end of this line, so it makes sense that we're starting to kind of pull back and go down. If we kind of scroll out, right, what we see is push up, right, and then this is kind of where we think the wedge started, where I have it start at least. We pushed up, got close to this line, pushed down, pushed up, got close to this line, pushed down, all the way hit this line, and now we're kind of hitting against this line again, and then we'll see what happens. So either one of two things can happen, right? We can have this scenario here where we kind of pulled back to the middle of the range, or this scenario here where we pulled to the bottom of this range, right? So we'll take a look at both of those. But one thing that we do know is we do not want to go past this line. Not that we don't want to go past this line, right? Because we do want the stock to go up. But if we do go past this line, the wedge is pretty much broken. We are not looking for a breakout anymore if that happens. So let's take a look at this here and we'll kind of see what we see, right? If we go down from here, kind of like we saw today, right? We've had this 25.39 point perfectly drawn on there, and our low for today was 25.30, so we were off by 9 cents. Levels have been looking great, guys. So if you are someone who maybe day trades or swing trades, right, you do know kind of the levels that we are looking at to maybe pick up some shares or sell some shares depending on support or resistance, right? Tomorrow, if we see a little bit of a red day, right, I think we go back to visit this level. And I would not be surprised if we even broke below this level for this pattern to be valid, right? So two things can happen. We can either break this level, start heading towards this line right here. Not saying all of that happens tomorrow, right? I'm speaking kind of next couple of trading days. Or we go down and we, bounce off of this level and then maybe trade sideways for a little bit. We could also see a push up, right? We saw this 2 days down and then push up again. But I do think that, I think it'll start to maybe revisit this 25's level of support, maybe bounce off that 21 EMA and the 25.48s. If we keep dropping, I'm looking at the 34 EMA and the mid-24s as a good support level for us to hopefully bounce off of. But I think the big play, again, I've said this so many times, the big play for me is at the end of this wedge. I'm hoping for a nice push upward, right? And I think that would be kind of what I'm looking out for. Now, if we do see that push, right, we've got this 2680s, 2805s, and 2947 levels of resistances to look at. But I'm really hoping that that push takes us all the way back to kind of this 30s here that we were in very, very briefly, right? We were only above 30s for a couple days. But I'm hoping for, if this wedge works out, meaning we continue to push slightly down or maybe consolidate and get to the end of this kind of here, when this line comes down, this line goes up, we break out, we see that 30s hopefully come, or at least a nice couple green days for Palantir, right? So in order for that to be valid, we got to see that happen. On the upside, again, hoping for this 26, not hoping, right? The 2680s is the level of resistance that I'm watching. And then I'm watching this line, which for tomorrow would be kind of near the mid 27s. So if we do go up, that's the level I'm watching to see if we get rejected. On the downside, watching this 2548, watching the 8 EMA and 2580s, then watching this 2540s, 21 EMA and the level we have. And then I'm watching this 34 EMA. Again, hoping that if we were to somehow make it all the way down here, see a crazy amount of weakness that this line holds up, consolidate for a little bit for that breakout at the end. So that's what I see developing in Palantir. Again, I think has great potential to go up in the short and long term, right? Short term, see the breakout. Long term, we see just general stock rising, as we see with other companies as well. So let me know what you guys think of Palantir and down in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.